What's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Mufasa, the Lion King. Now this is directed by Barry Jenkins and it is a photorealistic animated musical film that is kind of like a sequel, but it's basically more of a prequel because the film does take place after the events of the Lion King from the 2019, but it's also like really telling like a prequel story. So I think that's kind of interesting how they did that. It's really like a sequel to that particular like a film. So this is like the Lion King 2, you know, but it really is mostly like a prequel because you have one of the characters telling like a backstory based like on Mufasa's like past. So I thought that was kind of interesting how they did that particular film. Because this particular film does start out with the idea of like Simba and Nala. They have to leave like the area that they stay in. You know, they have to leave that particular area to go off on some kind of journey, and they leave behind their daughter with Timon and Pumbaa. But at the same time, you also have Rafiki there too as well. So while Simba and Nala are going like off on their particular journey, because we'll eventually learn what they went off to do, Rafiki begins to tell the story of a younger Mufasa and certain things like that happened with him. And it turns out that one of like the main characters, but I think everybody had knew this anyway. Yeah, we all saw this in the trailer. Like the character known as Taka, that's really Scar, like who's supposedly Mufasa's brother. It turns out that was really a Scar, because you can get to see how he gets the scar on his face and all that as the film goes on. So that was kind of fun getting to see. Plus, I think at times the movie is like kind of sad, too as well, because you get to see like we all know the eventual fates of like some of these characters too as well. So I think it was kind of sad how their like story like unfolded, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, once the prequel story stuff begins, once Rafiki begins to tell the story of Mufasa's apparently like with his parents, like they on like an adventure and so on, and then like this flood happens, and this is Mufasa gets like pulled away from like both of his parents. He even loses his father in the process too. I know that's kind of like spoiler territory too, but he eventually like drifts off somewhere, and he comes across like this other like lion cub known as Taka. And apparently Taka, eventually that really will become like a Scar. But Taka at this point is like a good like cub. He's like, that's why I always thought these kind of films like this were kind of sad, because a lot of these villains or antagonists of these particular like stories or films, they turn out to be they really were eventually like good characters, but eventually they become like evil. They go like bad, basically. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But like Taka's like father, who's like a particular like king lion in this area, he's like very like sinister and like evil and so on. He's kind of like lighthearted at times, but he doesn't want Taka to be with Simba as this particular story goes on, because they believe that Simba is a stray, whereas Simba, he just lost his parents. He just got displaced from his parents because of the flood, but they already suspected Simba is a stray and so on. But like Taka's like mother, she's like she keeps Simba like close to her. She like trains him and stuff like that, and they eventually grow up. They get old and older. Like Simba and Taka, you get certain stuff that they go through as well as they get older. But eventually, like Taka's family is like threatened by these like a group of like larger lions, and they all had like, this white grayish like look to them. So eventually, like, these lions like threaten. They call the outsiders too. They threaten like Taka's like family. So Simba and Taka have to run off and leave from Taka's family. They go off on their journey, to get caught up and other kind of stuff like that, because his family, Taka's family, the cat becomes, the lion that becomes Scar eventually. His family is like threatened by like these group of like white lions known as the outsiders, who are trying to take over all like the different lands throughout the world, throughout the area that they're in. But yeah, as the film goes on, it's pretty cool. So you get to see the relationship between like Mufasa and Taka, as you can see that they were very close and stuff like that. But at times, eventually something happens, because they even meet what's her name? Eventually meet another lioness known as Sarabi, that eventually becomes like Simba's mother. And they also meet Sazu, who is with Sarabi too as well. So as they're going, and I think Taka starts getting kind of angry because like the relationship between Mufasa and Sarabi was growing. Plus there was times where he actually like got threw his life on the line to save Mufasa and stuff like that, because he always kind of had like not really like a coward like instinct, but he was kind of like scared, but he'll help though, But yeah, eventually you could see stuff that kept pushing him to become eventually become a Scar. And then as the film goes on, we get to see why Mufasa eventually became like the Lion King at one point too, because he becomes like more and more, like I guess you could say like more powerful and more, you know, like he just gets like into like the mode of where he becomes the like Lion King. But you have there's like tons of like other characters in the film, you know, like Aaron Pierre, he provides the voice of Mufasa. You have Kelvin Harrison Jr., who provides the voice of Taka. You have John Candy, who provides the voice of Rafiki. Then you also have Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. And you also have Tiffany Boone as Sarabi. Donald Glover does have a moment as Simba. Like I say, Simba, they're not really in the film too much. I spoiled territory, they're not really there that much. You also have other characters too, like Billy Eichner as Timon. And Mads Mikkelsen, he plays the actual like villain of the film, like the antagonist of the film, like the White Lion. Yeah, they call them the White Lions. The character's known as, I think, Kairos or Kairos. Yeah, because he's like very like mean and stuff like that, like evil and stuff like that. Because he's also just seeking revenge because one of his cubs or one of his like lion sons was like murdered by like, you know, Mufasa. But like I said, I want to touch on everybody, just so many like characters like sprinkled throughout the film. But I just leave it at that. But it's like fun seeing the eventual like journey of what happened with Mufasa and Scar, you know, what turned out with them and stuff like that. I thought it was awesome because it should have been Scar, or you could say Taka, who should have been like a Lion King, you know. So I thought that was kind of sad and tragic too, how that was like taken from him. And he was really like a good like lion too, but he just eventually just turned like evil, you know. So I thought that was kind of cool, but I'll leave it at that. Now the film is like a photorealistic, it's like shot film. It looks cool, like especially like some of like the water effects, like all the various different animals and stuff in the land. But I do believe for some reason, I saw this in Dolby Cinema too. I do still kind of believe for some reason it's like it could have been better. If I'm not mistaken, like the visual effects themselves could have been much better, but it was still pretty cool and pretty fun to look at. And it's still kind of awesome to see like these various different characters from the Lion King like brought to life like this. You know, I already know we already saw it like in the 2019 film. Now there are a bunch of like musical numbers like throughout the film too, where they're like singing and stuff like this. Some of them I thought was kind of even funny because it was really like serious songs. You know, especially when they was about to kill somebody or something like the one for Kairos, where the eyesight was like the white lions, like the son they was having, when they was threatening other talkers like parents, like the son. I thought it was kind of like funny, but it wasn't supposed to be funny because they were finna kill these like lions. But the way he was singing, something like that, it was like bye bye like that. I thought it was kind of like hilarious. And there are some awesome like action scenes and tense moments in the films, like especially when the lions are fighting or they're just like struggling like in this like water, like about to drown and stuff like that. There are some pretty cool, awesome moments. But overall, I must admit, I do still feel like it was kind of like in C territory, like a C, but I still enjoyed it more than I thought. It was like fun, and it was definitely, like I say, interesting getting to see like a good look, a good look at these particular, like, you know, characters and stuff like that, like their history, what became of them. We all know like some of their face and stuff, so that's why I thought it was kind of sad and tragic when you see eventually how they would end up or what happened with them and stuff like that. But I'm gonna give it a B minus. And I would definitely recommend it for fans of 2019's The Lion King. Or you can say if you're a fan of the original 1994 animated film, you know, I would definitely recommend it for that crew. But anyway, please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.